All right, welcome. I just finished reading God Emperor of Dune, literally about 2 minutes ago. So this is my fresh, just finished reading the book. I don't know if this is a review. This is probably not a review. Look, I'm just going to assume that if you're watching this, it's because you've read the book and you want to know what other people think about it. So I don't know if this is going to be a review. There will be spoilers. If you haven't read the Dune series up to this point, I mean, there's no way I can talk about this book without talking about what's happened in Dune, Dune Messiah, Children of Dune. There's just too much. So let me just think about the mind-altering world of Frank Herbert. My thoughts on this. This is my hot take. Okay. I think that people that are in the Frank Herbert army, the cult of Herbert, they praise these books as if there's some sort of, masterpiece. Like Frank Herbert is this genius or something. And I got to be honest with you, I'm finding Frank Herbert's world has much more in common with Flash Gordon. And I'm talking about like the 1980s Flash Gordon with Max von Sydow and Sam J. Jones with the soundtrack by Queen. It has much more in common with that than it does, with something like Dostoevsky or Tolstoy. It's whacked out, dude. I mean, it's super whacked out. There's so many cringy lines in these books. Did I have a good time reading it? I don't know. I mean, I don't really feel like my enjoyment level of the books is really that high while I'm reading them, but then like once I'm done with them, I'm conflicted. I think that these books they're so weird, man. They are so out there. So at the end of Children of Dune, let's just back up. We got to go back. If you read Dune, okay, you know the story of Dune. The story of Paul Atreides overthrows the House Harkonnen, becomes the Galactic Emperor. The Galactic Jihad takes place. The Fremen go out, conquer the universe. That's how Dune Messiah opens up. Paul is cynical and burned out and kind of pouty. He's got his relationship with Chiana, everything. The Talaxu have the Gola. They resurrect Duncan, Idaho from the dead. He's named Hate. We go through that whole thing. Hate becomes Duncan again. He resurrects his memories. Paul Atreides gets his eyes burned out of his skull by a nuclear device called a stone burner. Becomes blind. Of course, according to Fremen law, you're supposed to die if you're basically handicapped or crippled in any way. So he doesn't do that because he's got his prescient vision. So he can still see even though he can't see. He goes out into the desert. Everybody assumes he's dead. Dune Messiah ends with the birth of the twins, Leto and Ganima. And Paul is essentially, we think he's dead. Well, he's not dead because he comes back in Children of Dune. The goal of Duncan, Idaho got killed. We have, no, he didn't get killed. So Dune Messiah, Children of Dune, he's back. That book essentially is the downfall of Aaliyah from the first book. She was in the second book. She ends up with the Gola of Duncan, Idaho. They end up married. Lady Jessica comes back. We have this whole crazy plot to wipe out the Atreides or regain control of the spice. Book ends with Leto becoming... We get the return of Paul Atreides, the blind. So he's not dead. He's the blind prophet, right? He ends up talking about the golden path. It was a path he couldn't take, but Leto, his son, is going to take the golden path. And what does that mean? It means that he has to merge with the sound trout, which are what become the worms. So he becomes a worm man, a worm person. He's has extended life. So at the beginning of this book, Arrakis is no longer called Arrakis. It's called Rakis. It's no longer a dune planet. All the worms, the sandworms are all dead because water kills them. And so the only worm left is Leto II, and he is the Galactic Emperor. And this book, you thought the other ones had a time skip. Okay, we had time skips in the first novels. This one takes 3,500 years later after Children of Dune. So we're like 3,500 years past that. Everybody is dead. Everybody's gone. We just got Leto. And of course, we find out he has been cloning Duncan Idahos for the past 3,500 years. He has the Ixians keep on, or the Talaxu keep on making him more and more Duncans. They all eventually turn on him. He has to kill them all. So he's just been killing Duncan Idaho over and over and over and over again. Of course, he took control. Leto took control of the Bene Gesserit breeding program. I mean, I don't know what to say, man. These books are whacked out. And there's some truly cringe-inducing lines in them where I literally laughed out loud. Duncan Idaho kind of reminds me of Boba Fett in a way, in that he was a minor character in Star Wars that everybody thought was really cool, and he died, so they like brought him back in the extended universe, and George Lucas put him in the prequel novels and everything. Duncan Idaho is Boba Fett. He was too cool for school. He's part James Bond, part Boba Fett. That's the only way I can think of him. He's the suave, debonair, the ladies' man, and he is definitely got the charm, and all the ladies love him. Ladies love Duncan Idaho. This is, I don't know what to make of the books. They're so weird. This is definitely a niche thing. I think that, I don't know, man. I'll talk about the morality of the Dune universe for a minute. Frank Herbert, I mean, he has had, you would talk about his morality, his sexual ethics in the Dune universe. In the first Dune novel, we have the spice orgy, where what they do is they disintegrate the worm, and it turns into a poison, and then the Reverend Mothers, they basically neutralize the poison. Everybody drinks the spice. They call it the water of life, and then they have like a shared collective consciousness, and they have an orgy. And I'm just like, what? This is whacked out. So that's in Dune. That's in the novel Dune. Of course, he has to bring it back. Again, I mean, they talk about the spice orgy all the time. This is like a thing in the Dune universe. And yet, you have diatribes against homosexuality. Like, so homosexuality is really looked down upon as being, a moral evil in the Dune universe. And it's just, the whole thing just, to me, I don't understand the morality of Frank Herbert's universe. It really, he's a strange man. He has to be a strange man. These things came out of his mind. I don't know what to say. I'm at a loss to even talk about this book. God Emperor of Dune. I mean, it talks about Leto being like merged with the worm, and there's a lot of talk about genitalia. Evidently his is it's gone. It's been absorbed by the sand trout, which he's merged with, and now he's turned into a giant, he calls himself a pre-worm. I don't know if there's a description of him in here. It's pretty horrific. He's got like little T-Rex hands. Like his arms have been atrophied and turned into like little T-Rex arms. And it's like Jabba the Hutt, except way more disgusting because he's got like a little man face. It's like he's got a pink little man face, which is inside of like a folds of skin of a worm. And he's got like little human T-Rex hands. But he's like got no stuff. His man parts is gone. So he's asexual. And then there's this elaborate plot by the Ixians to take him down through the love of a woman. And of course, we've got Duncan, Idaho, number whatever, 3000. Duncan, Idaho 3000, because he's been cloned over and over and over and over and over again. And all this talk about the golden path and everything that Leto is doing, Leto the Second is doing, is for the golden path, to preserve humanity. He basically saying that we would have all become extinct if it wasn't for him. So he really doesn't have a moral ethic. He is a complete and total tyrant who rules the galaxy by his own morality. He has an army of women, calls them I think they're called fish speakers. This is his special guard. The Fremen are basically become a joke. They are carrying on rituals that they no longer understand. It's just very, very weird. You have this character named Siona, who's introduced and find out that she is Atreides. And by the way, the link to the Iliad, to the House of Atreides, is made abundantly clear, in case you've missed it before, in the opening of this novel, where he talks about the House of Atreus. I don't know if I can find the exact line, but it's in there. Okay, so here it is. Look, this is from page 17. He says, I was born Leto Atreides II more than 3,000 standard years ago, measuring from the moment when I caused these words to be printed. My father was Paul Muad'Dib. My mother was his Fremen consort, Chani. My maternal grandmother was Farola, a noted herbalist among the Fremen. My paternal grandmother was Jessica, a product of Bene Gesserit breeding scheme and their search for a male who could share the powers of the sisterhood's reverend mothers. My maternal grandfather was Liet Kynes, the planetologist who organized the ecological transformation of Arrakis. My paternal grandfather was the Atreides, descendant of the House of Atreus, and tracing his ancestry directly back to the Greek original. So there you go. We're tracing the line of the Atreides back to ancient Greece, to the Iliad. Like I said, Agamemnon appeared as one of the voices inside of the ancestral memories of Aaliyah, Paul's sister, in the previous novel. So I don't know what to say, man. These books they're soap operas. I think that people are trying, look, I'm not going to trash on you if you like these, okay? They're weird, man. They are weird. Frank Herbert has got some issues. They are definitely randy, baby. These books are super randy. There's parts where I literally laughed out loud because it's like these women, there's these women and their desire for Duncan, Idaho. It's pretty ridiculous. I mean, it is literally, like I said already, it's like Flash Gordon levels of hilariosity. Okay, Batman 1966 levels of goofiness, all right? But much more child inappropriate. It's like Roger Moore, James Bond level seduction type nonsense. So I'm not going to trash these books. They're entertaining. They're just so weird. Memoirs of a Giant Worm Man. Tyrant Worm Man. It's like Ming the Merciless combined with Jabba the Hutt. Combined with, I don't know, Dino De Laurentiis, Flash Gordon stuff. I know this ain't a review, really. This is just me off the cuff, just going off. This is so weird, man. It's so weird, and I don't know what else to say. I really don't. It's weird. I'll probably go ahead and finish the series because I've read 4 of the 6 books already. I'm all in. I just don't know what to make of it. It is it's very entertaining soap opera levels of, I don't know. It's like Days of Our Lives mixed with Star Wars mixed with 1960s counterculture, hippie, drug induced. Expand your consciousness, bro, through drugs and free love. And I mean, it's just very bizarre. It's so strange. I can't even, I'm just ranting and rambling at this point. I'm just going to end this. I don't know what to make of these books. They're so weird. They're just weird, man. They're weird. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. I need to go read a Louis L'Amour novel or something to get my mind back right, because this is bending and warping my mind. Have a wonderful day. God bless.